World Cup winner and the most decorated South African player in the Super Rugby competition, Tendai The Beast Mtawarira has just been named as the UNICEF ambassador, regional ambassador for Eastern and Southern Africa. He joins me now after recently returning from an informal settlement in Kenya's capital city of Nairobi. A very good afternoon and welcome to The Pulse.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
So tell us about this new role. Since retiring after the World Cup, you have just been so busy doing a variety of things.
Yeah, I've been quite busy. I've been staying out of trouble, that's for sure. This is quite exciting. Obviously, my UNICEF ambassadorship. It's something that I've always been passionate about. To be vocal about children's rights and their well-being. So now I get to do it on the biggest stage, and I also amplify some of my work with my foundation.
Can you tell us a little bit about what this role actually means?
Yeah, so the role states that I am an ambassador for the Eastern and Southern region of Africa, and that covers 21 countries. And what I'll be basically focusing on is education, making sure that every child in this region has got access to quality education, and also being vocal about other social issues like climate change. As we know that there's been floods and cyclones that have been affecting quite a significant number of countries. So there's a lot that needs to be done on that front. So I'll be obviously speaking to decision makers, leaders of different nations, and just promoting children's rights overall. So I'll be sort of an ambassador for them and a role model.
This is going to be very difficult on the ground to actually get face to face with real difficult issues with some of the most vulnerable in our country as well as across the region. Are you prepared for that?
Yes, I am prepared. I think for me, I've always wanted to help others. I've always wanted to be, at the front and center of some of those issues. And I'm privileged now that, UNICEF, looks at me as the kind of person that could be, an advocate for what they're doing. So, yeah, it's something that resonates with me. So I'm going to be in the field. Like, for example, last week I was in Nairobi in an informal settlement, and I got to see firsthand what some of, these children and families have to succumb to. So, it just kind of humbles me and also inspires me to even do more of this work because, there's a lot that needs to be done.
I suppose it's really close to home when you have a former teammate like Makazola Mapimpi, who himself actually only learnt English when he moved out from where he was staying in the Eastern Cape and really got involved in rugby and, as a matter of survival, had to learn English.
Yeah, that's quite true. There's obviously quite a few guys that have walked that road and, come from very difficult circumstances. I think none more than so Mapimpi, his story is powerful and so inspiring. He's a global star now, but, where he started off was a tough place. And there's a lot of, young Mapimpis out there, that also seek for an opportunity. They want to be seen and provided the opportunity to shine and follow their dreams. So that's how it all starts. And I'm a dream enabler now in my post career life. I'm trying to help young people have access to more opportunities to better their lives, to provide for their families and communities.
Yeah, I suppose it is a little unfair for those children that maybe aren't so fortunate to get given the platform that sport provides in order for them to overcome their situations.
Yeah, it is a fact. But, I think education is probably one of the greatest equalizers when it comes, to opportunities. So I believe that if every child can have access to good quality education, and they lay that foundation, and I think, they can achieve anything in life. I believe that, providing that for them at an early age would just set them up for for their futures, to be leaders and just thrive in their lives.
I know you have been busy doing a whole host of different things and some really exciting things like going to the NBA All-Star game. So we know that you've been watching some basketball. How much rugby have you been watching and what have you thought of the South Africans' performances in the United Rugby Championship?
Yeah, so I've actually been watching a decent amount of rugby. As you might know, I'm actually involved with the Sharks. I've got a role there, mentorship role. I represent the MVM consortium. I sit on the board. So I've actually been at most of the home games, the Sharks home games. And I've actually seen that, there's a lot of progress being made. The teams have been performing well. I think, the Sharks, the Stormers, and the Bulls, they're all going to be competing in the playoffs. So I think, I'm very positive about the future of South African rugby, especially the year before the World Cup. I think we're in a really great position. A lot of depth, a lot of youngsters coming to the scene. Guys like Apelele, Fasi, Ondisile, Semelani. There's a lot of talent, and I think we're in a good place to actually defend that World Cup next year.
Yeah, and when you hear the coach of Leinster saying what a welcome addition South African teams have been in the United Rugby Championship, you know that he's been watching South African teams closely. How nervous are you in the role that you play at the Sharks that a lot of your players are going to be poached by those Northern Hemisphere teams?
I think it's something that we're obviously trying to fight. Trying to keep the talent here at home. I think as the Sharks, we're proactive in that. As you have seen, guys like Eben Etzebeth and Sear are now coming to call the Sharks home. So, which is wonderful. It's just a good example for all the youngsters that, you don't necessarily just have to chase the money. You also got to look at where is the best place for you to go and grow, and become the best you can be on and off the field. And I think the Sharks are providing those opportunities off the field, post rugby playing days, just look at the now. So, so I think it's something that we're fighting slowly. It's still a tough mountain to climb, but I think, we're making inches away.
Lovely stuff. That's Tendai The Beast Mtawarira, the brand new UNICEF regional ambassador for Eastern and Southern Africa, chatting to us here on Newzroom Afrika.